The following is a presentation of the Nerd Complex Podcast Network.
You are listening to Audio Suplex Live. Okay. Just making sure the music played this week. Last week our intro didn't have any music.
Yeah, that was weird last week.
Yeah, I made sure everything was fixed this week.
Okay.
That's funny. Yeah, I mean, I first and foremost, let me say that it is fantastic to be back in the studio.
Welcome back.
With
It's
you
been
guys.
a hot while.
Let me tell you, I made it through, guys. I had Black Friday this past weekend. If anybody who knows me in my personal life knows that I am a retail rat, as I like to say. I'm a retail rat. But, yeah, no, I got through it just fine. A lot of coffee, not a lot of food, and even less sleep. And I'm here to tell the tale. So
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I am...
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Thanks,
Welcome
yes,
back.
Thank you. Thank
Welcome
you, guys.
back.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
This is my third Black Friday out of retail.
How is it?
It is great.
Yeah.
I slept in. By slept in, I think I didn't sleep in. I woke up at 7 o'clock that morning, but that's because I normally wake up at like 7:30 for work. I have a big boy job Monday through Friday now, so I wake up at the same time every day. So I woke up, and my fiance and my baby are, which my baby is my fiance, but my other baby, my infant child, they were sleeping.
You're such a big softie.
And
dude.
I really wanted to buy a TV, and I was going to go out Thanksgiving night and maybe do it, but
Family's more important.
yeah, I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. And by the time Thanksgiving shit was over, all the stores were already open, so any of those TVs that were there, I'm like, they're gone. So I got up at 7:30, and I was like, they're asleep. I'm going to go to Best Buy and see if they have any of those TVs. Because they reopened at 8 o'clock on Friday.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll get there right at open.
Well, and they usually stage that stuff too, because they'll have some available for Thursday night, and then they'll also have stuff available for Friday too.
The way Best Buy did it is they had certain TV deals were Thursday only, and then there's new doorbuster deals for Friday.
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
there's
yeah.
another doorbuster deal for like 1 o'clock on Friday. So you want to come here at 1 for these things that you can buy. So
It's a good way to keep consistent traffic throughout the day.
Yeah, because they always have gotten their stock and stuff midday.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I worked at Best Buy for 5 years, so it's a little bit different now because now they open on Thanksgiving.
Best Buy Insider.
They didn't open
Here,
on
Corey.
Thanksgiving when I worked there. We opened at midnight.
Back in your day.
Back in my retail heyday. But they had one TV left, and when you walk into Best Buy, they have a display of like all the shit that was on sale, like one of each on this table with the prices and telling you like, here's the ad essentially. And then they have like stacks of TVs throughout the store around the whole aisle area. And I walked around and there was none of this certain TV I wanted. And I asked the guy, and he's like, well, our inventory says we have 5, but they're probably in line, or we probably don't have any more of those TVs. And I'm like, well, I saw one when you first walk in. There's one on the display with all that other shit that's on sale. And he's like, oh, well, you can just take that one. And I was like, oh, okay.
Hell yeah, dude.
So I was like, I better hurry up and get up there because that's the only one I saw. And you were helping me for like 10 minutes look for one back here. So I went up there, and it was still there. I was like, all right. So I loaded it on a cart, and it's hanging off the cart by like 4 feet. So like, I'm like, oh crap.
That's a big ass TV.
And of course,
4
like
feet.
it's a packed Best Buy, so you're like
I
trying to
guess
maneuver.
4 feet's an over exaggeration.
How many inches? 96-inch TV.
I got a
you say?
96, sir. They had a deal on a 96-inch. No,
So Corey's hosting our events.
Absolutely. Maybe
I did
at
get that
Corey's
4K
house.
though. I got that 4K.
Hey, man.
It's pretty nice.
You got that? Did you get that HDR support though? You got
I
HDR
don't know
support.
what that means.
High dynamic range. You got it. So you got your 4K.
I think I do.
And then you got to have like 4K
Yeah.
with HDR, so you get the most. Out
I think
of your
I do
4K,
have that because
or your gaming to come.
I think I do have that.
Your boy's rocking a 46-inch from about 10 years ago. That's just it's still kicking, man. It's on its last legs.
46 is good. What were you gonna say, Joe?
Barely.
Guy have that Dolby Vision.
I don't know what that is either.
Jesus.
See, they have these 4K Blu-rays. Do you guys know about these?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have to have a special Bluray player?
Yes,
Yes.
you do.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah,
I didn't know.
Unless you have the Xbox One X, they'll support.
I did.
Or
Blu-ray.
the PS4 Slim does it, dude?
The Pro?
Or
The Pro.
Project.
The Pro does not.
Oh,
Pro does
it's
The
not
Pro
2K?
does not. As stupid as it sounds, the Pro
What
does
the
not. I
hell?
have the Pro and the One X. The Pro is
Wow.
not
Sony.
4K Ultra.
So I almost bought some, but I was like, I think you probably need it's in a special box. You probably need a special player.
It was like when they did
and I tried to
3D.
Google it, and it was too. I didn't.
Like when they did 3D DV or 3D Blu-rays and stuff like that, you
Yeah.
would need like a special 3D.
Yeah, but PlayStation
Blu-ray.
did 3D Blu-rays.
Yeah, but for some odd reason, while we're pushing all this 4K content on a 4K ready console, they didn't put it in there.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. So my Xbox has been getting a lot of love.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that TV, that combination, I'm made in heaven right now.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
Not leaving my house at all.
Speaking of leaving your house, did you leave your house at all this past weekend for wrestling? Because I know there was like a lot to do.
There's
man.
a lot of wrestling, but I did not leave my house. I just tried to follow the events that I could,
Yeah.
and not a lot of.
That was
a lot
my
of travel this week. No,
That was a feeble attempt at a segue there, by the way. I was trying to segue us from our general discussion that we like to start with to
Wrestling?
Yeah,
I have a way. I have a transfer.
By-
I bought 5 wrestling shirts on Black Friday.
Yes, you did.
Oh,
He
dang.
texted me. He goes,
I only showed you 3 of them.
I like the fact that you got the CN Almas, by the way.
Hello, he's our NXT champion.
I did get
El Idolo himself.
2K18
For 40?
It was $35.99
Nice.
on the PlayStation Store, and everybody else was selling it the same. So I was like, right.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably going to be the console I pick it up for. I still haven't picked it up yet, but when I do, I'll get that PSN
Yeah.
Plus
Wait, you
going
have
again.
PS4?
My roommate just bought one, so
It's in. You can get
yeah.
down.
By default, I have one. So
You need to create a character so you can show up in my video game.
let's go, dude.
Yeah.
Let's go. I'm into it.
I haven't seen yours come through yet. I found my dude Shaquille's came through my game.
Are you
already.
still
On
Corey
PS4?
Morrison?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Corey Morrison. He doesn't. I just changed him back. He didn't look like me for a while.
Yeah.
I made him kind of weird looking.
Mine always looks like me. My creative character, I always try to make it like as accurate as I can.
Oh no, dude, my guy's got like the Tony Nese abs.
Yeah.
Got 8 reasons.
Jesus Christ.
No, I got a Braun Strowman shirt.
Which one did you get?
Monster Among Us.
Was that the big ass face one?
Yeah, his face is on. It's like a cartoon face of him.
Yeah, that was a cool one.
I got a Do It for Dewey Southpaw Regional Wrestling shirt.
Love that.
I gotta watch those too.
I got a CN Almas shirt, and then I ordered a Kenny Omega Bullet Club shirt and a Cody Rhodes American Nightmare Bullet Club shirt. That one. That's the shirt I bought.
Nice.
What are the odds?
We actually
Very high. 'Cause
for
Hot
They
Topic
were
didn't give up.
$10 at Hot Topic.
yes.
Yeah. Ooh, nice. I missed out.
Thought about stopping in there and picking one up, but I have, I think, all the BC shirts I need. I incessantly.
I got the Tekken one. You know I had to get the Tekken one.
Yeah, of course.
They have so many.
I incessantly went in there day after day after day looking for the LIJ one.
Oh, I know you
bothered the
did.
hell out of them until they got it.
I like the Hangman one.
Hangman Page is good. I like that shirt.
I liked his shirt.
Yeah.
I don't really like the Young Bucks one. I like the Young Bucks.
Yeah.
I just I don't.
I'm just so ready for wrestling.
It's like a badass shirt, and then they put all that color on there, and it makes it kind
Yeah.
of not. I'm like, okay, I don't know.
Too flamboyant.
Yeah, I picked the ones I thought looked the coolest, so I did, and I really wanted a Kenny Omega
Shouts out
shirt,
to the Young
so-
Bucks though. We love you, but your merchandise
Yeah,
is a little too colorful for.
honey, one sweet us. Come on the show.
Yeah.
Love it.
Oh man.
All right, so let's talk about last weekend.
We're
a
gonna
little
talk
bit.
about news. Oh no, we're gonna talk
Well,
recap, and then we'll do
this whole
news.
show. I mean, we'll play the news wrap before we start talking about it, but this whole show is just going to be news and just our thoughts and everything going on right now anyway. So
I love it.
the whole episode is news. It's all news. No guests, no frills, no
We have a
bells,
guest,
no
kinda.
whistles. No, this is not a guest.
I'm not
you're
a guest.
God,
I'm just behind the
he's-
scenes.
He's
At this-
training to replace me, is what it is.
Yeah, well,
I had the glasses on last time. Oh, here they are. Oh snap!
we need to have the heel cat. Oh shit! Well, if that's what we're doing.
Our futures are so bright. We wear sunglasses inside.
You know, I keep
what
them things on me. Joe, you want a pair?
Oh snap! Oh, sorry, I
Well,
stole them.
Here.
I stole them, Joe. Oh, you have 2 pairs.
Jesus.
How
How
pretentious
many
are
Ray-Bans
you?
do you have, you fuck?
One.
I know. It was Black Friday. Did you hit up Sunglass Hut? Oh, bruh, he's really got them. He's out here.
Oh man, we're all heel Corey'd up.
Yikes.
Why are you wearing them like that?
These are okay. So these are OG.
It was like child glasses.
No, these are OG Wayfarers. They like the OG Wayfarers have like a weird slant to the front.
Why would anyone want to wear those?
I don't know.
I guess it makes you look.
Oh my God.
Looks more like forthcoming when you do that eyebrow over the.
This is really bad. I'm taking these off. I'm like looking at myself right now.
Yeah,
on
who
the,
wears glasses like this?
I look great.
Hello.
I look like Diet Lil Jon.
Yeah, yeah. You're not
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's jump right into last weekend, fellas. We're gonna go over both NXT Takeover War Games, which I think was the better of the two shows for the weekend. Not taking anything away from Survivor Series, but I think War Games was full go from bell to bell. Like
it was the Killian Dane show.
Yeah. Oh my God, it was the Killian Dane
Coast
show.
to coast, Killian Dane.
But we'll talk about that a little bit when we get into that match. But we do want to break down Survivor Series and War Games. So, Tony, Mr. BT Jackson, what were your thoughts on War Games in general? Like the show from like.
As a whole, I typically watch NXT because there's always the spoilers on the internet because it's pre-taped.
Yeah.
So I kind of have an idea of what's going on. I usually just turn it on as background noise so I can hear what's going on because knowing the outcome is completely different than feeling what the outcome is. So War Games from start to finish, like I put my phone on Do Not Disturb. I'm like, don't talk to me. I'm ready. It was good. There were some things that I was still a little miffed on that just shouldn't have happened. We'll get into that. But as a whole show, no, that fantastic. Lived up to the name and the hype that was drawn up with the War Game.
I'm pulling up the card right now so we can kind of go through match by match. Let's see here.
Because it opened up.
So the opening bout was Lars Sullivan going over Cassius Ohno, which was...
It made sense, but
Yeah.
it's like at the same time, all that work and all these matches leading into like for both of them, their builds that they already had. Not so much Cassius Ohno either; he was kind of just tossed in.
Yeah,
but like, come on, like I get his finisher; he's a big guy that crushes people, but it's like, come on, Cassius would have kicked out of that like any other day of the week.
Yeah,
he needed two of them.
Everybody knew that match was going to be literally just designed to make Lars Sullivan look like an actual absolute destroyer. But I would have liked to seen a little bit more in the way of offense from Cassius Ohno in that. Like, yeah, I think it really was a squash match of the highest caliber. I know he got some stuff in, but you know, you go to the next night and then you look at like an AJ Styles, Brock Lesnar, which I think is a very similar matchup in terms of like, you know, styles, so to speak. Like, well, no pun intended. I think it could have gone more that way, but then again, Brock and AJ are, you know, two of the most established, you know, wrestlers on the planet today. So
probably two of their biggest draws.
Yes, absolutely.
AJ Styles is a phenomenal worker to start. So
yeah,
I mean, I know we'll get into that again later, but that was a fantastic match. I was pleasantly surprised by that one.
Unbelievable. So skipping past that a little bit, Corey, do you have any thoughts on Ohno and Sullivan?
Yeah.
Skipping past that a little bit,
Accurate.
It's been said probably by every person with a Twitter account, everybody on Reddit, the internet blew up. Aleister Black versus Velveteen Dream.
Yes.
This feud was... I've been high on Velveteen Dream for a while now anyway. Like
I thought you were high when you were talking about
it. I remember sitting at the beer soup trying to tell you, like, listen, dude, you gotta buy in, man. He's really, really good. The character, like, he took what would on paper just be like a very bland, just like a Prince ripoff character, and he has fully just embraced it. Like, he is so involved in his character, it is unreal at this point. And that's what I love good characters. And like, he reminds me so much of like Goldust in his prime, or Rick Rude in his prime, or, you know, so many other wrestlers that just...
Rick
he's
Rude,
a big guy.
That's a good...
And he's
like long. I don't know. He's
incredibly...
Oh, no, yeah, that guy...
He looks like a basketball player.
He comes out...
He's huge.
And he does the Rick Rude with the tights. He's got the Aleister Black and the Velveteen Dream on the tights, which is just absolutely like a beautiful... like.
As soon as he unzipped, I was like, are you kidding me?
Oh, my God.
He went all out.
Even the build up to that match, like, it was the simplest feud of all time. Like,
yeah, like, it didn't seem like it was going to be that kind of match.
Right.
Like, we knew what it was going to be, but it's like...
Filler feud.
Right.
Something for Aleister Black to do. Velveteen Dream's a new guy. Give him
get him
something
over
to do.
a little bit. Yeah. And it's just, this is one of those matches, though, where I feel like it tied everything together so perfectly. It's got a finite finish now. The payoff was absolutely incredible. And it's great to see these kind of matches that, although Velveteen Dream didn't go over Aleister Black, he still got over.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he got what he wanted.
Yeah, he got
wanted
what
Aleister to say his name.
Because there was like some clear heel. I love these like little murky feuds. Like Aleister Black, dark and brooding. Like, he's obviously not the bad guy here, but he can be. Or how
there's a lot of moral ambiguity there.
Right. Yeah. And then that's what was real cool. Like, the way that finished, like, he could have not said his name at all, and it would have still been the same finish, and it would have been it.
It's appropriate that this pay-per-view took place around Thanksgiving time, because it was honestly like this match was the main course. Like this was like that first
I'm very
plate.
grateful for
And
it.
I'm incredibly thankful.
What kind of analogy you're trying to do?
I'm just really hoping that you guys like seriously jump on the dream train right now.
I've
like,
been on it since the Patrick Clark days.
You have.
Like I was a fan of Patrick Clark and
we
his
saw
like
him at the NXT show. Was it in Columbus? Mm-hmm. And I failed.
He was Velveteen Dream then.
I don't know if he was going by.
He was
Patrick Clark.
He was
with
Patrick
that,
Clark with that gimmick. He wasn't
yeah.
full blown in it. He still was like mildly fro-y.
Yeah.
He was still like kind of getting out of the. I call it like this weird like Patriot looking thing, because you remember he had like the red, white, and blue tights. Like he just looked like a wrestler version of like Booker T. Washington. Like,
Leo Rush. He was tagging with him, right?
That was in the Indies.
That was in the indie scene.
Well,
yeah.
Isn't that what he looked like in the Indies?
Yeah, essentially. Yeah, very clean cut. Very just kind of like
during his tough enough
He's
days.
so much bigger than Leo Rush too.
He's oh my god.
Leo Rush is not a big guy at all.
But
I know, but it looks like someone took Patrick Clark and like stretched him out. Like,
Yeah,
let's make him a little longer.
And then left him in the sun a little longer. Patrick Clark is chocolatey. Leo Rush is as bright as his hair.
Well, no. I'm not saying they took Leo Rush and stretched him out. I'm saying they took Patrick Clark. He looks like he's been stretched.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
they don't look alike.
He does
No.
look like those rubber old school action figures.
Stretch Armstrong.
Like you could twist them around.
Jesus.
He's long.
Yeah, so hopefully, like my biggest takeaway from this match was, I think this match finally turned a lot of people on to what Patrick Clark is doing with that character and with that gimmick. And I think Black, although the contrast of styles is there, was the perfect opponent to get him to that next level. Like that is the perfect feud to get, and that match especially was the perfect way for the audience to really, because they were chanting for him.
Yeah,
they were into it.
That was crazy.
They had the audience of that Houston crowd just like in the palm of their hands.
the downside to a finish is what's next for both of these guys though.
Yeah, I was wondering what kind of feud they can be put into.
Because that was
there's been a lot of talks about maybe kind of putting them together in like an odd couple kind of like tag team, which not the worst idea, but also not the best idea.
I mean, I can see
like
it.
black and purple, just gonna be
Black and purple.
black and violet.
Jesus,
the one,
Velveteen.
the bruisers,
yeah.
because black and purple.
So real quick before we move on to the next match, who do you guys see benefiting the most from this? I would have to say
Velveteen Dream.
Yeah,
Velveteen Dream.
That seems like a bad, silly question.
Aleister Black didn't need it. He was over when
Right.
he got in the Tommy End debut stuff. Like he was over before he even had his first appearance.
Yeah. All right. Well, moving on.
What's the next
So
match?
the fatal four-way match for the vacated NXT Women's Championship, Ember Moon capturing the NXT Women's Championship, finally defeating Kairi Sane, Nikki Cross, and Peyton Royce.
Kairi Sane looking like she was going to win it there at the end
Peyton
too.
Royce should have walked away with that. That honestly, any of the four besides Ember Moon, and I was talking to
That's kind of like how Bayley won it.
yeah.
All this time chasing after it. You knew you were over. You don't really need it, and then
But the thing
you
is,
got it. And it's like
Ember Moon really isn't that over anymore. Like she got a good hometown
She's a really
pop
great
from
wrestler.
She's incredible, and I'm not taking anything away from Ember Moon. Like Ember
But
Moon is fantastic, but I think
she is a little lackluster lately.
for my money, the time to pull the trigger on her winning the belt would have been against Asuka months ago.
Yeah.
I've been saying anyone that faces Asuka should beat her for months.
You know.
Yeah, well, that's
So
for
let's not
different
talk about that.
Yeah, but like,
let's not talk about that.
so yeah, but just for my money, like the time to pull the trigger on Asuka, or not Asuka, but Ember Moon was months ago. Like, not that I don't think she's deserving of the title, but at the same time, you have Peyton Royce, who is white hot right now because the Iconic Duo is one of the most over things going on in NXT right now.
I don't think she's white hot.
I
don't think she's white hot.
Between her,
I'm not hype on her at all, so she can't be that white hot.
Not white hot, but
she's okay.
She's getting roasty toasty though.
Between her and Kairi Sane, I think those are the two most over people in that match.
Well, she's the worst wrestler of the four in the match. Is Peyton Royce, in my opinion,
Also,
worst performer.
Debatable.
I mean, go ahead.
And then
debate me on it.
Nikki Cross, as much as I love Nikki Cross, really kind of felt like an afterthought in this match. Like, it never really felt like it was Nikki Cross's match to win. Like I was never invested. Like I could see
her
Peyton
winning
Royce.
the belt storyline wise. Where do you go with her as champion?
Yeah,
I think she's a better chaser because she's insane.
And you book yourself into a corner with that because then she's
she's a monster with it too.
Yeah,
like just as a character, she doesn't need anything. It's
Right,
like
you don't need a belt. Certain characters don't necessarily need a championship belt to
Braun
work.
Strowman.
Braun Strowman, he'll get his eventually.
Kairi Sane, once again, great performance by her. And I'll talk about this a little bit too. I was a little disappointed on the lack of interaction between both the rings for spots on the undercard. Like I thought there was a lot of room there for them to do cool spots. I really wanted to see Sane try to hit the elbow from one ring corner to the.
I wanted to know if they just didn't want to acknowledge that second ring at all that entire night.
They really kind of pretended that it didn't even exist. Like there was no spots
because
near
there's
it.
like, hey, technically we can't build this ring up while the show's
There
going
was
on.
there were some comments on the direction of this particular pay-per-view. It wasn't directed by the person that normally does the directing, so there was a lot of quick cuts. There was a lot of
there was that spot during the Dream.
Cassius Ohno had a lot of spots where you can blatantly see him slapping his leg and they don't cut away at all.
Yeah.
I read it. I didn't notice it when I was watching it per se, but a lot of people were talking about how shoddy of a job they did on the cuts for this particular pay-per-view.
Just like a real WWE pay-per-view.
So that kind of played into it. Maybe, I don't know, I can't remember if they said somebody who doesn't normally cover that was taking care of it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
once again, just to summarize, I wouldn't necessarily have gone with Ember Moon. Not that I don't think she's deserving of the title, but I just think there were much more
less talented wrestlers to win the belt.
Talent has nothing to do with whether or not you win the belt. I just think Peyton Royce, for my money, was probably is one of the more over of those four women, and it would have been a really good. I think it would have been wonders for the NXT women's title scene to have her. Could you imagine the promos every week with her and Billie Kay walking around as the iconic duo with the belt and they're co-champions? And
I can see that. Yes,
ends up leading into a program between those two. There's a lot that you could have done with that. And I think, especially for where the NXT women's division is right now, to have her as the top of the mountain, even though, as you put it, she's not as talented.
I don't think she's more over than any of the other girls in the ring either. Kairi Sane, who's only been around for a month,
they did a poll on WWE.com before TakeOver, and she...
Poll for what?
To see who everybody thought was going to win the match. And she was leading that poll going into the pay-per-view by a landslide. I'd have to look
who
up
you think is going to win and who.
Yeah, I mean, smart Mark seems that one.
I'm just
saying who you think is going to win.
Brock Lesnar versus AJ Styles. I think Brock Lesnar's going to win that.
But
I'm going to vote. I don't want him to win. I want AJ to win.
Yeah, that's the difference. Is who do you want to win?
I wanted Peyton Royce, but that's just me.
I know.
We had our own picks from that show too. We got to go back and take a look at those.
Do I get points because I said Jason Jordan was going to be the sole survivor on Raw and it ended up being Triple H, who was his replacement?
No, you do not.
No, because Jason Jordan wasn't the sole survivor.
Well, we didn't know that he wasn't going to be in the match, so his replacement then becomes my pick, which is Triple H.
I don't think it works like that, bud.
I don't think so.
Well,
I wrote in a lot lot of votes in this last election.
Jesus Christ. Yet here we are. Here we are. So yeah.
All right, let's talk about the next match.
NXT title match. Drew McIntyre defending McIntyre.
Galloway.
I don't want to be here.
No, Drew McIntyre defending his NXT title against Andrade Cien Almas. Okay.
I love Andrade.
I'm going to take a joke from Nick Anderson. Is CN Spanish for boring?
100.
Not true.
He's the perfect 100.
Now listen. Anybody who listens to the show knows that I am a big fan of New Japan Pro Wrestling. I'm also a huge fan of Tetsuya Naito and Los Ingobernables. La Sombra is the originator of Los Ingobernables. To have to potentially live in a world where the NXT champion and the IWGP Heavyweight Champion at the same time are going to be members of the same stable, essentially, is absolutely fantastic to me. I absolutely... So when
CN is in a stable?
Well, he was the one who started LIJ. Or LI, I should say.
Which is what
Naito is in New Japan.
Yeah. He's in that stable?
Okay, so...
We talked about this, I feel
I'm going to give you the Cliff Notes version. Naito was in New Japan Pro Wrestling. They did like a Roman Reigns-esque push with him and tried to get him to the top of the card, and the fans shit on it. They were just like, no, we want Okada, we want Tanahashi.
Right, don't tell us what we
anybody but Naito. So Naito ended up doing what a lot of guys in New Japan do, doing like an excursion tour. So he went to Mexico for like 8-9 months or something like that and turned heel when he was in Mexico and linked up with La Sombra, who would end up becoming Cien Almas. They were in Los Ingobernables. So when Naito finally returned back to Japan, he brought the Los Ingobernables, with him and kind of started like a New Japan like a New Japan charter of it in Japan, and it became Los Ingobernables de Japón. So now he's got
what does that mean?
Takahashi. He's got Evil, Sonata.
What do those words mean?
The Ungovernables.
And then what did they add on to the end?
Of Japan.
Of Japan.
Of Japan.
Oh. we cannot be. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. No. And the gimmick is fantastic. You still see a little bit of that Ingobernables.
Well, I'm glad Cien won the belt then.
I'm here for it. I like it. I think it was a really good move.
I've always liked Cien.
Drew McIntyre to me was. I know you're a big Drew McIntyre guy, Anthony, but he's a little bland.
No, he is. I thought Almas is blander.
I don't think so, man.
Like in the ring, though, I mean, they're both great.
And now having Cien, so when Cien first came into NXT, they pushed him as this big baby face, and he just wasn't getting over with the crowd. But now they've added this wrinkle of having a manager with him.
Yeah, but that's what it took, and that's what is like a little annoying about it. Because even during his heel run, he sucked. Now he has a heel run with the manager, and now all of a sudden he's gold.
Agree to disagree.
Well,
I love it.
I think it's working. The manager's working because she's able to interfere in his matches, which is drawing a ton of heel heat. He's able to win more matches because he has that as an excuse.
Yeah.
I mean, before, what could he do to cheat? Pull the tights to pin somebody? I mean, he can only do that so much.
Saying. Like, that's where I'm at. He's not champion. Zelina is.
But she's done a lot. But
he's a quality performer in the ring.
It's not without saying she hasn't single-handedly changed his character, but she's given him the tools to get his character to where he needs it to be at the top of the card.
I think so.
Okay. That's just the way
I'm not saying he should have been the person to take the belt.
Right.
I think he is deserving. I think he should have maybe got it a long time ago, or
I think this is the right time. His story needed to take that arc to where it is now to get him to where he needed to be. I think it was a good move.
I think it's a good move.
What do you think? Okay, so now
McIntyre's
injured. Yeah, he's going to be out for a little bit.
6 to 8 months, I believe.
We have NXT Takeover Philadelphia in January. Who do you see kind of being that next number one contender for
Adam Cole, baby?
You think so?
I think so, and I think the Undisputed Era. I think the other two guys will go after tag belts, and they'll win them.
Are we ready for that?
And they'll
already?
win them. I think Cien can hold it for one takeover cycle and lose it.
I don't think that. I think they're going to do a little bit of a slow burn with the Undisputed Era. I think Adam Cole's got. I
don't think they're going to be in NXT for more than a year. There's no way.
I think Adam Cole's got to get at least one proper singles feud going into Takeover before he actually goes after the belt. I think he's got to have that one true one-on-one singles feud. He might be the exception to the rule. Roddy would be obviously the first choice right off the top of my head. Like have them iron that out
maybe WrestleMania he'll win.
Exactly. Okay. So here or somewhere thereafter. Because here's what I see
that would be
happening.
The next
and I said this in our group chat. I could see Almas's first feud being against maybe somebody like an Aleister Black, or maybe like a even like you could do like a dark horse pick, have like a battle royal, and a surprise winner. Oni Lorcan is the number one contender going into Takeover because I want to see that match a lot. So that's your feud going into Takeover Philadelphia, and then afterwards you start getting Gargano ready, because Gargano, you even have like a couple.
He's going to be facing Tommaso Ciampa.
No, because here's what's going to happen at NXT Takeover WrestleMania.
Or
Johnny Gargano is going to, New Orleans. Johnny Gargano is either going to be about to win the title, or he's going to win the title, and then Tommaso Ciampa is going to return and absolutely murder him.
You think they're going to give Johnny Wrestling the NXT Championship at WrestleMania?
Yes.
No way.
I think so.
No way.
I
He
think
will never hold that belt.
Almas is holding that belt until WrestleMania.
No, the next belt that Johnny Gargano holds, it'll be the Cruiserweight, and that'll be the only belt he'll ever hold for the rest of his WWE career.
Gargano wins it, and then he feuds, and then we finally get this blood feud that we've been waiting a year for between...
That doesn't need a belt at all.
It doesn't.
It needs a belt 0%, so you use that belt to help another feud.
Fine. He doesn't win the belt. Ciampa costs him the belt, and then we finally get the feud. Almas carries the belt and drops it to Cole the next takeover after that.
So you're going to give Cole the belt at SummerSlam?
No, they'll probably do one in between the two.
Oh, yeah. Money in the Bank would be in June.
Yeah, where's that at this year? Is it?
We talked about it.
If it's in Chicago again.
Yeah, it's in Chicago. Money in the Bank is in Chicago.
That makes all the sense in the
Money
world.
in the Bank
They
is in
will
Chicago.
probably run a takeover for Money in the Bank, and it'll be...
It is in Chicago.
An NXT Money in the Bank match?
Ooh.
That would be kind of good. But speaking of...
I don't think they would.
Speaking of gimmick match... Well, they really do a good job of keeping like what goes on in NXT separate from what goes on in the main roster. But speaking of gimmick matches, main event for NXT TakeOver War Games, the titular...
Today, son.
Titular.
Titty.
Whatever. The main event, War Games match featuring the newly rebranded Authors of Pain, looking like a couple of older brothers who got forced into bringing their little brother out to play with them.
Roderick Strong looks so stupid in that get up. I'm
I
like,
will
just wear your regular clothes.
AOP Roddy Strong is better than Shield Kurt Angle, though.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if that's true.
At least
so you had
like those clothes
dad
didn't
with
look
the bros, and then you had little
dad trying to hang out with the sons, and then little bro trying to hang out with his big
you could take him with you could go to the mall. You just got to take your little brother with you.
Dang it, man. That's funny.
He did not look good. He did not. I would have been way better with him not matching his tag partners.
I thought it was cute.
You're not part of a stable.
It was a cute little ripple, and it was a good way to show that, there was like some issues there, but there was solidarity with them as a team. I thought it was cool.
It was, but he really did look like the married
dude. It just looked silly. Every time I looked at him, I kind of giggled. Like, what are you wearing, man?
There are so many like superlatives I want to give out for this match for like MVP and like Killian Dane. Oh my! It was the Killian.
He might win the NXT belt.
He was a house on fire, man.
Literal brick ass.
Absolutely insane.
That coast to coast, I lost it.
The best part about that
never
was
saw that coming in a million years.
He added that little character wrinkle of looking at Adam Cole and saying, "Watch this,
hey buddy,"
and then just coast to coast destroys. It was Fish, was it? No, it was O'Reilly.
O'Reilly.
It was O'Reilly with the coast to coast.
So may I just say, I'm not familiar. I'm not a big Ring of Honor guy. Kyle O'Reilly.
Yes.
I keep thinking his name is Kylo Riley,
Riley,
like from Star Wars. Kylo Riley, and I'm like, oh, Kylo, that's a cool name.
Yeah, no,
his name is Kyle O'Reilly.
A little bit of background for you: he and Bobby Fish were a tag team, both in ROH.
Redragon or
Red Dragon,
but there's only one D, so it's Redragon.
It's like the D is for both.
It's a double D.
It's a double D.
No, it's not. It's a single D. It's Redragon.
So
the Dragons again.
Former IWGP Tag Team Champions, ROH Tag Team Champions,
and they've always been associated with Adam Cole. Or?
I think the only I don't know a lot of the storylines that they had in ROH with each other. I think the association just literally begins and ends with they were all three in ROH at the same time.
See, that's kind of
it's a little forced, but at the same but that's also how you include Roddy into that equation as well because he also was an ROH guy.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of guys were ROH guys. Seth Rollins and Daniel Bryan.
But those guys were like that last crop of like
Kevin Owens,
big ROH guys that came over to WWE all right around the same time. So
because you got to remember, Adam Cole got killed off.
Yeah, in the
Strong's been gone for a while.
Yeah, but he hasn't really done anything. He's not a WWE guy. I think a lot of people still kind of identify him as a ROH
Isn't
guy.
His name like Mr. ROH or
no,
something?
his thing is My Family.
No, what did they call him?
My Family.
Because he was in ROH for like 12 years or something ridiculous.
He was definitely a mainstay there. So, also Alexander Wolf. Oh my God.
Talented.
I love
bleeding like crazy.
His energy gets me so involved and invested in whatever he's doing. Like when he hits the ring and he grabbed the baton out and stuff like that. It was like I was watching like Clockwork Orange.
It's crazy.
I was like, this guy is absolutely insane.
I remember the first time I saw him, I'm like, I'm not sure about this guy. Like the other guy's okay. This guy's kind of weird, but like the energy he brings, he's like he plays his character.
Yeah.
the way it should be done.
Perfectly.
Like, he's a psycho crazy guy that's just like, wow.
He's everything that Dean Ambrose should be.
Yeah.
Like Dean Ambrose should be able to be let that
that's
loose.
the anarchy.
Yeah.
Like, I get the DA the stuff. The anarchy symbol is just because I worked with this.
You want to sell me? You want to sell me on Dean Ambrose as a lunatic fringe? He looks nothing more to me than just like a dude that you run into at the bar on a Friday
That's
night.
just PCP.
That's just a normal ass dude in Toledo. Like that's not crazy. That's just a normal dude who probably
I don't
drinks a little
brush
too
my
much.
hair.
Yeah, whoa. You want to sell me on like
I wrestle in jeans.
Gene Ambrose.
you want to sell me on like lunacy? Give me like an Alexander Wolf. That is actual lunacy. Like I like to see that craziness.
I think most of Sanity does a good job of that lunacy kind of thing.
Eric Young was an MVP of that match too. He's so good.
So who was your your least valuable player? Who was the least impactful in that match?
It's hard to say in this situation just because I feel like everybody really brought something to the table. If I had to say one, I would say AOP because everybody knew why they were there, and it was just to be the third team in that.
Yeah.
This thing wasn't even for a strap.
It was for nothing.
It was for nothing. Like, they came back, so we're like, hey, we want our straps. Let's do this. No, it's War Games, but for no strap.
They should have put the straps.
Yeah, it should have been. Like,
Which
that's why that's the whole reason
officially
why this whole thing happened.
the NXT tag titles are being defended under Freebird rules now because it's any of the three members of Sanity can be the team that defends it.
It checks out.
So
maybe they need to free up Eric Young to do something.
Yeah.
And they're going to keep the belts for a while.
Killian Dane and Alexander Wolf as your tag champions. That'd be kind of cool.
That's what I thought they were going to do when they pulled the trigger and they had him in that match. I'm like, why is Eric? They're not going to win. Eric Young is in the match. He's like their main guy.
Would you guys like to see War Games become a yearly thing for them?
No.
You would rather see it just kind of be like when it's necessary, bust it out?
Yeah. Like,
yeah.
It's not a Hell in the Cell. It's not.
Well, I don't think Hell in a Cell should be done as a yearly pay-per-view either. I think
should be special stipulation when
once every 2 or 3 years, WrestleMania or something like, oh yeah, well how about Hell in a Cell?
And then
it's like, oh my, we haven't seen a Hell in a Cell.
That's where I'm going.
And they
with
definitely diluted the effects of the Hell in a Cell by having 6 or 7 a year.
Yeah, you didn't have War Games in how many years?
Now, Corey, I know
20 years.
I know you're not too familiar with the War Games concept.
I mean, I know how it works.
How did you think WWE pulled it off in terms of?
I like this better than the other way. I liked 3 guys started, and then you slowly give one team the advantage.
And I agree with that. Actually,
I think they did a really good job.
I think they took the best elements of the WCW match and the NWA match, and then gave it like its own unique indie style, because that's all NXT is anymore, is a super indie. They gave it like its own unique twist. Which
I will say I wasn't at first a fan of it not having the roof on it, because I remember a lot of spots where they take advantage of
somebody into the roof,
or someone's crawling across the top, or I don't know.
But I think they worked around that cleverly.
Well, doing the suplex off the top was insane.
They worked around that whole stipulation, and that
you're eliminated if you jump out.
Exactly.
If you leave the cage, you are eliminated.
Your team is eliminated. And I think that played in especially really well with Adam Cole kind of like teetering, is he just going to
knock him off?
Yeah, is he going to like eliminate himself because he just, lived to fight another day? This is insane.
Yeah.
It's not for anything.
Yeah, it's not for anything. And so, which fits Adam Cole's character perfectly. He's like, why would I kill myself?
I was waiting on it.
Yeah.
They should do a match where you have to throw your opponent outside of the cage
to win.
That's how you win. You got to carry him up the cage and throw him over.
Well, at that point, just give Killian Dane all the titles now. There's no way.
It was just a steel cage match XL.
Yeah.
That's what that was.
But it was good.
The rules before it, that was cool. But knowing that the match didn't officially start until everybody was in there, I could have made a sandwich.
That could have been a cool storyline that it could have ended. So you get that advantage right away. You're trying to work the other guys to hurry up and try to pin them.
Yeah.
That could maybe be an interesting, a more interesting way to storytell in that match.
I'm sure they'll tweak it a little bit too. I think there was a couple things you
could tell it was a trial run.
The releasing the guys from the shark cage mechanic was a little clunky.
Why did they should just do it kind of like Elimination Chamber? The thing that you come out of is connected to the cage in some way.
Yeah. But for a first time out,
I don't know.
I like it, and I like that it adds another wrinkle. So I think that NXT has their Hell in a Cell now. Like, it used to be the 2 out of 3 falls match was NXT's this is the final way to end this, but now they have another because I don't see the War Games match coming up to the main roster anytime soon. No.
I'm sure it will once they make a playset for it.
All right. So let's move on a little bit.
TBH.
Because I want to roll through Survivor Series. We probably won't take as long on this because
because holy shit, we've talked about NXT forever.
Well, that's our show.
NXT forever.
All right, so Survivor Series opening up with the Shield going over the New Day. Really good match. I don't think anybody expected anything less, though.
Nope.
It was good. It was just a really good match. I thought the spots were really good. These
Shield was an obvious they were going to win, I think.
My biggest takeaway from this is the Shield obviously gets the win, and you look at the Shield, you can now look at them as you can all look at them as individuals because all of those guys have had successful careers outside of the Shield. I would really like to see New Day get to that point because I think they're over enough, and I think
split up and be successful.
Yeah,
I don't see any of them in the world title picture except for maybe Big E.
Kofi.
In the world title picture?
Remember,
after 12 years of being in the company, he's finally going to make it up there?
And that's a great story right there.
But
right there
he's already had the Intercontinental Championship several times, Tag Team Championship several times. So even Xavier Woods, in one of the most recent promos leading up to Xavier, was like, we have X many championships between us. He was like, most of them were all Kofi. Thanks, Kofi. Made us look good.
They've even said in shoot interviews that ultimately Big E and Xavier Woods, their goal is to get Kofi to that level. They want him to be a world champion. They've said that. And I see it.
I don't see his character translating into a world champion.
He's on the right brand for
Jinder
it.
Mahal.
Okay, well, Jinder. Look at Jinder's promos, though. I can't see Kofi giving me a promo.
WWE champion, baby. No,
I can see it. I can see
Adam Cole, baby.
Baby.
Him and Adam Cole team up.
The babies.
The babies. The babies. They come out in diapers.
I'll take it. That's a team I never knew I wanted. My God.
Kofi and Adam Cole. Babies.
Adam Kofi.
Adam Kofi. Kingston.
Anyway, so super good match. I thought it was really good. Really good way to start the show, too. We got the whole crowd pumped and everything like that. Moving on to our next match, Team Raw Women's, Alicia Fox, Sasha Banks, Bayley, Asuka, Nia Jax going over Team SmackDown, Becky Lynch, Naomi, Carmella, Natalya, and Tamina.
It was pretty obvious.
And highly forgettable. I don't remember any of the spots.
Neither do I.
I remember at the end a lot of eliminations happened very quickly, and Asuka took out 3 members of SmackDown in a row.
It ended up being 3-on-1, I think, at the end, wasn't it? It was Asuka versus the 3.
Some miscalculations between Tamina and stuff.
Yeah.
Nia Jax got counted out like she always does, and every.
Yeah, she didn't get pinched.
Well, whoever the big monster is gets eliminated by count out.
Can we talk about, and I would never take anything away from Tamina or Nia Jax because I think they're both fantastic, competitors, but they had that stare down, and I think they expected that stare down to be a much bigger thing than it was.
Tamina looked probably the best she's ever looked.
This is one of the best Tamina matches I've seen in a long time.
And not that that's a difficult task, but she looked good, and she did play up her role as the SmackDown monster.
Yeah.
And they let her kind of shine, and they booked her better than she's ever been booked as far as how she looked in the match. So.
Yeah.
I was impressed.
It was a forgettable match, and if anybody didn't know that this was going to be a vehicle to make Asuka look just even more unstoppable, then you don't pay attention, and why are you listening to our show?
You played yourself.
But continue listening. Moving on, United States Champion Baron Corbin going over Intercontinental Champion The Miz.
What?
Very good.
I thought it was kind of forgettable.
It was forgettable, but it was also still very good for what the two could put together.
True. As far as two guys that I think knowledge,
the build up to the match was great. Their
a lot of
Twitter
back
videos and all that stuff was pretty exciting.
Which has got to be kind of hard because unless you're the New Day and the Shield and stuff like that, a lot of these teams didn't really get a whole lot of time to interact with each other on TV. So a lot of these these feuds, you even look at the Brock Lesnar AJ Styles match. That feud was built over a week and a half worth of promos.
Right.
It wasn't really a lot of time.
Well, even the Charlotte and Alexa Bliss.
Some great promos though,
Paul Heyman's on AJ Styles.
But then Daniel Bryan's take on it was not bad at all.
Not at all.
And I love what Paul Heyman can do. Dude's just a genius.
He really is.
Where you could take you know, he wasn't berating AJ Styles. He actually built him up.
Yeah.
And that's what made the match great. Was he built them up. You just
He's
said,
done
but you're not going to take my man's out, though.
He's
Right.
done
You're
that.
good, but
with,
you're not Brock Lesnar good.
He's done that with every competitor and every opponent that Brock's had for the better part of, like, I'd say 8 or 9 months now.
Since he's ever been the Universal Champion, he's been building up his opponents because we all know that they're going to get fed.
His promo with Joe calling him the worst case scenario is like one of my favorites of all time. And
that made Joe extremely relevant, and then he got injured. And now he's back doing.
He'll be back up soon.
He'll be back.
He's facing Finn right now.
They know that they have something really special with Samoa Joe. They just have to find that
and
right.
he's getting older too, so they need to figure it out.
Yeah, I wouldn't hate to see Joe make the move over to the Blue brand and get his hands on AJ first and foremost.
Well, did you hear that AJ apparently his plan is to leave at 42? His contract's up in 2 years. He's 40 now. So his contract's up when he's 42. He says he wants to be able to go to his kids' baseball games and football games and cheerleading practice and all that stuff.
Has anybody had as good a career as he has in such a short time with WWE? Maybe Brock Lesnar when his first run, because he was like champion within like Kurt Angle when he first came into the company.
Well, Kurt Angle was there for 6-7 years.
God, Styles has had such a great start to his.
And we're not even. What are we? 2 years in?
It's
almost 2 years.
All right.
It would have been
and here we go,
because it was
SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the Usos going over Sheamus and Cesaro. I thought this is a very good match, incredibly good match. And I mean, once again, we've heaped praise on Sheamus and Cesaro infinitely.
And the Usos
even gave him the Thus Far award for Tag Team of the Year thus far. And I stand by it to the point
they've won
that
the titles and one additional time since then.
But holy hell, the Usos are on another level. They are hands down the best tag team.
And they're so fluid with each other, like
on the
all
planet.
Their moves.
All it took was finding that character for them that let them kind of be themselves, turned up to 11, like Stone Cold always says. But they are truly like the most entertaining team that they have on both brands, or all three brands even.
Yeah.
Hands down.
Because the New Day was doing it for a little bit, but it got stale.
And the Usos
can only do so much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well, especially when
where the Usos is still fairly new. I mean, I know they've been in this gimmick since right after the brand split.
Yeah, but they've been killing it ever since, and they found ways to maintain the freshness.
I've been down since day one ish.
Yeah, right around there. Day one ish. So fantastic match. I thought it was super good. Once again, we can't heap enough praise on the Usos, man. They're just.
Good job, fellas.
What a bunch of good fellas.
Hey, if you guys want to be on the show, just hit us up on Facebook or whatever.
Yeah, just audiosuplexlive@gmail.com. Drop me a line.
We'll have you on ASAP.
SmackDown Women's Champion Charlotte Flair defeating Raw Women's Champion Alexa Bliss. It was good for what it should have been. I think you guys have finally coaxed me into the Alexa Bliss era finally running its course. And I like Alexa Bliss a lot. I just think
what would you do? Never mind.
You're going to feed her to Asuka, and that's going to be it. And then Asuka's just going to retire the Raw Women's Champion. And then kind of like how Stanford, she's eternal. It doesn't matter. She's like literally, she's a Highlander.
She'll never retire.
Yeah, she's a Highlander, my dude. You can't kill her.
Do you really know? Do you know how old she is?
I can look it up.
She's pushing.
She's got to be in her 30s, right? Mid 30s.
I think she's pushing.
She is.
I'm gonna guess 36.
I'm gonna say 35.
I'm gonna say 36.
36. She September 26, 1981.
I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm a big Asuka mark.
Yeah.
We'll try not to show it too much, but
that's what this has been. That makes sense now.
All this time, I've really just been a big fan.
Nobody's ready, man.
That should be a punishment. If I ever lose picks or something, I have to wear an Asuka shirt on the show.
You have to do an entire episode in an Asuka mask.
I have to wear her mask. Yeah. Have you seen how tiny it is on her face? Imagine how small it would look on my face.
It's like a button on the nose.
Like, can she not get a mask that fits her head?
No, that's just the way the Japanese style.
Well, do they not know how a mask works?
It's a kabuki mask, I believe it is.
Well, some kabuki.
Well, it's a mask in general, but kabuki is a style.
What's next?
Entirely uncultured. Universal Champion Brock Lesnar defeating WWE Champion AJ Styles. I was worried about this match from the beginning because that first, I would say, first third of the match was AJ selling his ass off. literally just taking everything that Brock was throwing at him and making him look like an absolute destroyer.
I bought it.
But when he started to turn it around and actually started getting his offense in,
Right.
AJ Styles is hands down the best professional wrestler on the planet today.
He's unstoppable.
Wow.
Oh, untouchable.
Today. Yeah, in terms of everything, in-ring work, he can go in there with anybody and make it look amazing. He's had nothing but great matches since he has set foot in this company. He brought the best out of John Cena. He brought the best out of Brock Lesnar. He brought the best out of Roman Reigns. Every opponent that he has had, his matches with Dean Ambrose for the title.
Yeah, no,
Even
I'm
when
right
he's
there
booked
with
to
you.
lose, he
I
looks
just had
good.
to think
Yes.
about it. It was like he didn't win any of
He
our
made
thus
Baron
far.
Corbin look good. Do you know how hard that is to do?
I mean, Baron Corbin's the United States champion.
Not my
United
champion.
States champion.
Not my champion.
Yeah,
But
AJ sold his butt off, and I went into that match real worried. I'm like, oh, here we go. AJ Styles about to get fed, and
He held his own.
I mean, he did get fed for a little bit.
Yeah,
and then,
but I mean, but
AJ.
it
Well, then
looked
Brock was getting tired of
good.
beating the crap out of him, and then AJ's like, I'm gonna hit him with a couple elbows.
Yeah.
It was good.
forearms, couple elbows.
That forearm off of the ring steps into the barricade was just incredible.
Yeah.
And the way he cocks that back and just goes all in with it is just whew.
But now,
I thought the end was kind of sloppy because he
The
does
end
the
was
phenomenal into the F5, but it didn't look like he was even trying to get the forearm. He just kind of jumped on Brock's back.
Yeah.
And then Brock hit the F5, and that was it.
There was a spot like that. I want to say in
I feel like they could have
it
done
was
a
the
better
dream.
job.
It was the Aleister Black Velveteen Dream match where he went to go for the elbow and basically he just landed on his feet, clearly not going for the elbow, and it got countered by Black. But commentary sold it like he was going for that elbow drop.
yeah, that's
and
the
then him also
downside
getting tied up in the ropes where he kind of
He
didn't get it right, so he had to like.
You like how the ref was trying to help Dream out in that situation, but earlier in the match when Black was locked into the ropes, like the ref was like nowhere to be found. Just get old Drake, what's it,
Yeah, I don't know.
Gertz or whatever.
You do what you do.
Yeah, the Tangerine Dream is what they're calling him now. My man has never seen a tanning bed he doesn't like. So
Let's talk about
or a death match. Poor dude.
Let's talk about my least favorite match of the card.
Really?
The ending of it was so bad.
I liked it. A lot of people on the internet were complaining about it.
Why do you-
Triple H is putting himself over.
Why do you want
again.
Triple H versus Kurt Angle? Why can't Kurt Angle fight a new wrestler who's
I-
never fought Dream Match style?
I don't want Kurt Angle versus
You
Triple
do.
H for WrestleMania.
You do.
But the nostalgia fan that they're bringing back in for WrestleMania.
And then that's where we come back, because this is the same spot, the same seat that I sat in, and then Travis went on his
forgot.
tirade about the stupid Lesnar, or not Lesnar.
Lesnar, Goldberg, Lesnar. Yeah,
Yeah, it was Goldberg,
Yeah,
Lesnar.
yeah.
Because you were
God
bummed
damn
about it,
it.
and I had to remind you guys, listen, what's
The
Casual
nostalgia
fan.
train is officially
Sir-
starting.
sir-
We're building towards Royal Rumble. That's when we get some returns. Possibly Batista.
Survivor Series is where they start laying the groundwork for what's going to be going to the Rumble, which is also going to go into Mania. And this is the beginning of that. If you put, I want to personally, and I'm going to say this now, Kurt Angle, and everybody knows this, I love Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle is my favorite wrestler of all the times, in all of time and space. He looks really bad. It's painful
What
to
about his
watch.
knees?
It's painful to watch. And like, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I think he's able to still get some serviceable matches in there, but we're also getting a very watered down Kurt Angle at this point. Like, he's not the same character that he
Watered down.
was.
Boyd looks like he's a hot dog that sat in the water too long.
Yeah, no.
My favorite wrestler can still perform in the ring.
He certainly can. He can also go through the ring
He can do
every
that
once in a while
Yeah.
too. So I like it. I mean, I get it. Like, they're doing the Kurt Angle Triple H thing to get people invested into Mania. Like, if you haven't watched it in a long time, like, holy shit, Kurt Angle's back. Oh my God, Triple H. And you get the whole Triple H entrance where they bring back a hologram of Lemmy and they just do the whole thing. Like, you know,
He comes out in a mech suit.
Knowing Triple H's WrestleMania
32?
run, though,
was it 31?
are we ready for Kurt to win at WrestleMania over Triple H?
Yeah.
Or is this finally where
I think
Triple H
wins again. He wins.
Triple H
He
has
beat
the
Sting.
worst record at WrestleMania.
Oh, losses.
Yeah.
Yeah,
most
that's why I'm like,
losses.
are
Like-
you really ready for...
How John Cena does nothing but put people over at SummerSlam, Triple H does nothing but put people over at WrestleMania.
And I don't want that. If this is to happen,
he's
I
gonna
don't
put
want
Kurt Angle over.
I hope Kurt Angle gets injured before WrestleMania, and then they have to do
But-
like a
and they
Force
have to
Braun
put
thing or
they
something.
put Jason Jordan in there.
This match, I thought,
Jason Jordan, Triple H main event.
I don't think this match was great by any stretch of the imagination.
Oh, hold on. Let me fantasy book real quick.
Love to.
Kurt Angle gets attacked. He's on life support, right?
God damn, who attacked him? Braun Strowman?
Triple H
No.
with a sledgehammer.
With a car.
Okay, and
It was Rikishi.
in Kurt Angle's contract, he gives up all of those rights to the WWE to pull the plug. So, so Jason Jordan versus Triple H, winner gets to decide what happens with the plug.
Will on a pole match.
Jason Jordan wins, and he pulls the plug and turns heel.
I want you to rip that mask off and reveal him for the Vince Russo he actually is.
It's
It was me, Travis. Bro, I'm telling you, bro. Bro, we're gonna run this. We're gonna do this. We're gonna put the will to live contract on a pole right above the
They
ring.
have to literally pull the plug out of the wall.
Bro, I'm telling you, bro. We're gonna get Judy Bagwell back. It's gonna be great. Buff Bagwell, I got him on speed dial. He's a great guy. He's a gigolo now, bro. I'm telling you, like,
Yeah, they have to physically unplug.
you old Vince Russo sounding ass. Like I'm
just saying.
there's no way, dude.
You want to put butts in seats? You
Nah.
put Kurt Angle's life on the line.
Jason Jordan killing his dad.
Why don't we just bring back the Eddie Guerrero versus Rey Mysterio for control of a child's life?
Oh my
I
god.
think
Again.
I think that's a little bit more crass than what I
Then
suggested.
then the rights to pull the plug.
Well, yeah,
dude.
that's the twist. Is Jason Jordan beats Triple H? The crowd goes wild,
and then he pulls the plug
the
anyway. It was me, Kurt.
It was me, Kurt. I'm the one that hit you with the sledgehammer.
Jesus Christ, evil Jason Jordan. I don't even buy him as Jason
He
Jordan.
is
let alone
turning heel.
Evil
He's going to
Jason
be
Jordan.
turning heel here. Wow, we definitely have a lot more stuff to talk about.
We're gonna fly through some of those.
Oh wow.
So-
Okay, well, the most important thing I would say, we can skip that third point. The fourth point,
We'll talk about it. Okay,
since it's the image of our episode.
Couple of thoughts. John
Oh,
Cena.
yeah. Oh yeah, for that final match.
John Cena it was cool to see him in this match. Literally had nothing to do with
Useless.
this whatsoever, but it's kind of cool to see him in that role a little bit. Like, you know, he's not the top of the card anymore. He's taking a back seat. He kind of sits back, lets everything
just here
happen.
to sell tickets.
We had really cool interactions, and that's what I like about the Survivor Series. The Survivor Series match and the traditional 5-on-5 and the Royal Rumble match are really cool because they give you like those dream match teases that you wouldn't normally get anywhere else. So like to see
Digestibleness.
to see Triple H versus Canadian Triple H, like that was fantastic.
Against all the NXT guys.
Yeah,
him versus Nakamura.
And then Nakamura versus Balor, which was super cool to see. And then seeing John Cena and Randy Orton team up for a little bit against Braun Strowman, like what the hell? Like that's super cool. Like
I won't lie. I kind of geeked out when I saw Bobby Roode.
and Triple H.
I think that's why I like Survivor Series and Royal Rumble for the same reason. You get a lot of matchups.
But with
And
the
even-
Rumble,
yeah.
you get that added bonus of like surprise appearances.
Right.
and-
You don't know that you're going to get this matchup. Whereas Survivor Series, okay, well, we know that during the match they could potentially wrestle.
which I'm calling it right now. Survivor Series or Royal Rumble this year. D'Lo Brown coming back for one time,
You
or
think so?
maybe even X-Pac.
No.
How much heat
No.
are you trying to get at the
I don't know.
D'Lo?
but D'Lo Brown would be a fun one.
No, no one would know who he is.
I didn't
What? Dude, as soon
New
as
fans would not have any idea. There's no.
because they don't know anything about a real deal.
I didn't know you were going to bring up half of the Street Profits.
Jesus, dude. Pick one. I don't care which one. Just
Ken
pick
Shamrock talking about possibly
one.
coming back.
That would be super cool.
He says he wants to come back and win a world title.
Well, shit. Bring back Steve Blackman while we're at it, man. Get that doom.
Batista
So,
saying that he wants to come back for a full-time deal as
So
well.
let's talk about this real quick.
As
Yeah.
Cruiserweight champion then? That was...
Don't you fucking tease me.
Okay. Sorry. Travis, go ahead. Tell us the news.
This man only recognizes one chairman, and it certainly isn't Mr. McMahon. It is La Parka. So ending the match, I liked it a lot. A lot of people were kind of shitting on it because it kind of put Triple H. Obviously, he won the match for Team Raw and whatever, and kind of like a weird,
it kind
convoluted
of felt
way.
like how when Kevin Owens won the Universal title,
He
Triple H interfered
had
and
to
did
make
all that.
himself part of
and
it.
it's like, did you need to do that to make Kevin Owens look good?
But Braun Strowman ends up coming out looking like $1 million.
Yes.
And just continues that momentum.
Baby face.
I was like, oh my God. We had ham versus Canadian bacon. We had all of these spots, and then
what did I say? HHH versus
Oh, mine. You didn't say anything back to that, but that was gold.
Which one?
It was Tremar High versus
versus Degrassi. It's super funny.
But
I don't know what those things are.
the school from Breakfast Club
versus the school from Degrassi,
which is
Canadian. Basically, Bobby Roode versus Triple H.
Which
Canadian,
one's Drake?
Canadian Triple H.
Wait, who's playing Drake?
The ref.
No, the one ref who's actually Drake. All right, so that is Survivor Series. We took a long time to talk about all these, so we're going to go through a couple of little news drops for you guys this week. Joe, I know it's a little unorthodox, but could you cue us up? I was sweating there, man.
It's some news.
Yes, so one of the things we do want to talk about with you guys this week, shortly after Survivor Series, actually the Monday Night Raw directly after Survivor Series, was it directly after or was it 2 weeks after? I can't remember.
Directly after. Survivor Series was last Sunday.
We saw the return of Paige coming back into the fold for the Raw Women's Division, but as she eloquently put it, she did not come
in the middle
alone.
of a match.
Mid-match came out to announce her return and brought back with her Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville from NXT, which is the weirdest pairing I have ever seen since lamb and tuna, or peanut butter and tuna fish.
Wait, so this image real quick that we're using, is this the SmackDown or is this Raw? I can't tell the difference because it's in black and white.
Who can tell?
It's in black and white, so I can't tell.
So in the middle you have a goth chick, every Hot Topic fan's, wet dream. On this side you got, a cute little blonde here.
Every American Eagle.
Just so you know, you pointing does not help anyone viewing what you're pointing
And then on the other side you got tough as nails brunette chick who's there to be the muscle. Yeah.
So it's just a bunch of wet dreams for your favorite.
And it's impossible to tell because they literally carried over.
There's this one, and then there's this one here, and then there's that one over there. Oh, what's wrong with my arm?
Oh, wait, I could do that too.
Yeah, which one are we talking about?
That's so weird. I'm not ready for all this. So yeah, it was a little bit. I mean, is it kind of a forced way to bring up some NXT talent? Yes. Is it? Would I like to see some clarification going on here? Yes. Do I think we're going to get it? Hopefully.
Maybe.
Do I have faith?
Someone will get injured and they'll just drop it.
Raw's tomorrow. So that was the initial fallout that sets it up. So Raw's tomorrow.
They're definitely going to be asking questions on Raw.
Yeah. So Mandy Rose, why do you want to team up with Paige?
She was so mean to you.
Yeah.
For
those who watch Tough Enough.
Yeah. I didn't.
It's interesting. I like what they're doing, though, and this gets us to our next topic that we want to talk about. So now that both brands have, Corey, I think you did the math. How many women's wrestlers are on the main roster?
I didn't do the math, but I know the math because I read it. There's 21 active female roster members between Raw and SmackDown. 21, counting Lana, who's not necessarily an in-ring performer. So there's 20. Perfect amount.
She had a women's title match.
I know. For a Rumble, obviously you want to subtract the women's champion from each show. So now we're at 18. If they defend their title on the show, then we're at 16.
Right.
But that leaves room for
surprise returns.
Yeah, we talked about possibly
Kelly,
Lita, maybe Trish Stratus, who
would be fantastic.
Teased. I know we didn't talk about that earlier, but there's a lot. Michelle McCool tweeted a thing suggesting that maybe she's going to get back in the ring, possibly.
Well, considering that we did not have a women's Hell in a Cell match this year like we did the year before, a women's Rumble would be cool.
I think it would be fun.
20 women. Oh, now PW Insider, I believe, is reporting that there's no talks of a women's Royal Rumble. Like, no one's talked about it backstage at WWE.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean it's not going to happen. It definitely looks like that's what they're doing.
The only thing that I would worry about with that is that it would make the Rumble pay-per-view excruciatingly long. Like, the Rumble match in and of itself is already a marathon.
Matches.
But then you're
talking about an hour for the men's, and you can do the women's. You can get it done in 30 minutes.
I always love the Royal Rumble undercard, though.
Because there's only 4 matches?
Well, it's only 4 matches, but they're usually pretty solid matches. You're almost always going to have a WWE title match on there. You're always almost going to have a, in this case, a Universal title match, and those will always prove to be good. And then it's a good showcase for guys who may not be on the card otherwise because they're most of your rosters in the Rumble.
Right.
I mean, it's very likely that they don't do it this year. Maybe they're just getting prepared for a possible women's tag division, which has been teased.
Yeah, I'm just
while.
real confused on why the carbon copy on SmackDown. So
Yeah,
that's why I
really,
can't wait for
I think there's a bigger
week is.
story. I think they're connected somehow. I think the big plus to
I
these
think you
women.
put too much faith in WWE creative.
Well, I think the plus side of these women
Thanks
coming
for
up,
that.
you know, the women's division on Raw and SmackDown was getting kind of stale. You have the same women. You can only do the same storyline so many times. So this gives a little new life there.
And that was the report that I had read, I believe, from Pro Wrestling Sheet, was that the only real reason for the call-ups was because Vince was tired of the same programs that they had been running. He wanted some freshness in the divisions.
With these being a stable on both Raw and SmackDown, that gives you some matches that aren't necessarily for the title and gives 6 women something to do on each show.
Are these
just in that? And then also frees up room for all the Mae Young Classic women that were signed to come into NXT and take their spots.
Removing Paige from the equation because she's already been on the main roster, you now have Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville, Ruby Riott, Sarah Logan. Sarah Logan, is that her name? Yeah, Sarah Logan and
Liv Morgan.
Liv Morgan on the main roster, which is fantastic. She's on the same brand as Carmella because I cannot wait to see those two feud.
Yeah. Who stole whose swag?
No shit.
Jay's on a pole match.
But they're similar enough, but different enough because so Carmella is like that upper class kind of like Staten Island.
I think that's when Big Cass comes back and just comes back and it's totally separate.
Liv Morgan is streets. Liv Morgan is that she's that kid, dude. I like Liv Morgan a lot. But do we think these are the 5 correct women to have been called up from NXT at this time?
You wouldn't have done anybody else.
I would have argued that Billy and Peyton would have been
I think they would have a better storyline. They're not going to team up with
they would have to come up separate. They
Ruby Riott. They wouldn't team up with Paige. Well, maybe they would team up.
They would come up as a team, obviously. But
as a team, but not as a part of like a what we're now calling a pseudo invasion.
Right. I think
they would come up on their own.
I think it would make more sense for them to come up.
So,
later.
I mean, maybe I wouldn't break up Sanity quite yet and bring up Nikki Cross yet because I think there's still a lot to explore there, especially with how white hot Sanity is right now. I don't know, but they also got to make room now in NXT for all these signees that they're bringing in from the Mae Young Classic because now you're going to see the NXT Women's Division get filled up with like your Dakota Kais. There's actually talks that they're bringing in Nixon Newell. Don't get me started. Dakota Kai is that girl.
That just makes me smile.
She's great. All right, so speaking of one of the big 4 pay-per-views, we're going to move along to what is now being called the Big 5 because Money in the Bank is becoming a co-branded show, one of 5 on the year, and is going to now feature a men's Raw Money in the Bank and presumably a women's now too.
Yeah, for both shows potentially.
4 potential Money in the Bank ladder matches in one night.
I've heard a lot of rumors that they would do Raw and SmackDown in the same match,
and whoever
for one
gets
briefcase, and then the briefcase can go to either show. But that way you're not filling the card with 4 ladder matches.
True, you could do that. You could do that with the women's too. Whoever wins it gets to take it back to their show,
and you can cash it in on either show too. Would be cool. They did announce the other pay-per-views for the rest of the year. SmackDown's getting 4 solo pay-per-views, and Raw's getting 5 solo pay-per-views.
Yes.
Well, I don't know why that would do that.
Probably because they wanted nice even 14, because that gives you 14 total right there. So
yeah, but you're giving SmackDown 1 less.
What are you gonna do, man?
And Raw has like 2 in a row. They have like
they have
like the one right before
right after the Royal Rumble, I think it is, and then the one
Fastlane.
Yeah.
SmackDown has the go home, I think, to WrestleMania. I think Raw has like the 2 after WrestleMania or something ridiculous.
We got Clash of Champions coming up, which is
that's this year.
Yeah. Takeover Philadelphia.
Well, I don't care
super
about.
excited for Takeover Philadelphia.
Are you looking at a full list, or are you clicking through?
I'm looking
each
at
one
a
on
full list. Let's see. Upcoming. Okay, so Clash of Champions. We have the Royal Rumble, which is co-branded. Elimination Chamber, which is Raw, which is going to be really good. I actually cannot wait to see Braun Strowman destroy that chamber.
Everybody's going through a pod.
That's going to be good. Tasty.
Fastlane is switching over to SmackDown in our own Columbus, Ohio. WrestleMania 34. Backlash is Raw. Payback is SmackDown. Battleground is Raw. SummerSlam Extreme Rules is Raw.
So that's where it is. So Raw, then a co-brand, and then another Raw.
Yeah.
So SmackDown doesn't have its own pay-per-view
in the summer.
Yeah, you literally go from
for like 4 months.
Yeah, it goes
3 months.
You have Payback, which is a SmackDown pay-per-view, and then it goes The next SmackDown pay-per-view, which is in May. Yeah, Payback is May 27th. Hell in a Cell is the next SmackDown pay-per-view, which is September 30th.
May, June, July, August, September. 4 months.
That's 4 whole months.
Without a solo pay-per-view.
Yeah. So
I have a feeling they might squeeze another one in there.
SummerSlam, I think, is going to be a very SmackDown. Oh, no. SmackDown or
Great Balls of Fire.
Yeah, interesting that did not make a return this year.
Are you surprised?
No, actually a little bit, yeah, because that was a fantastic show.
It was pretty good.
It was an incredible show.
The Brock and Samoa Joe.
Yeah.
It was good.
I liked it.
All right.
Let's talk about this last one right here.
Yeah, let's end on the last thing there.
Let's talk about the biggest thing on this list.
This is probably the
right
biggest
here.
news of the week.
Well, I've heard that it's really big.
Bigger than you've seen.
Yeah. Are we talking about the same news piece? Because I'm talking about the potential full-time return
of Kurt Hawkins.
Of Dave Bautista.
Oh.
Big bad Dave Bautista, rumored to be wanting to come back into the fold full-time.
At 49 years young.
He's 49?
David Bautista is 49 years old.
There's no way.
Yeah, something like that.
When I heard this news,
when he started wrestling, he was like 38. When he was like Deacon Batista, he was old.
When I first heard this news, I immediately said, "Yes, run it," because there
and
are
now you
so
know he's
many.
50, and you're not sure.
No, there's so many dream matches, dude. Braun Strowman versus Batista.
Comes back and wins another Rumble and gets to do Bautista all over again.
Bautista.
Batista versus Samoa Joe. That's something I would love to see.
Yeah.
What else would you guys want to see Batista come back and do?
Randy Orton, Triple H.
Promos without skinny jeans.
I love it. Give me skinny jeans Batista any day. And now he's got the additional
with like the cabbie hat he wears.
He's got a lot more confidence now. Because when Batista was first on his first run, he was a good package. He could talk to an extent, and he had the power, the muscle, the speed. But now he's got that charisma because everybody knows he's kind of. So you're now taking like the best parts of Batista and then adding in like that extra cup of like charisma and tea. Let's go tea. I like tea.
Tea.
I could go without him coming back.
Yeah.
I mean, what's he gonna do?
He's going to be the Mickey James.
I love. Do you like when all these old guys that used to wrestle come back?
It's fun.
I think it's fun if they're young enough.
If it's done properly, and honestly, I think Batista.
You want Hogan to come back and drop another leg drop and win a
No,
belt?
because he's racist and Hulk Hogan sucks.
Okay, if he wasn't racist.
No, because he sucks.
If he didn't suck.
Then we would be talking about Sting instead, because that's somebody who should have got.
He's not racist. He is old though.
When
you're past your mid-50s, you probably shouldn't be wrestling anymore.
It's a weird dichotomy to be like, because on one hand, yes, I'm always like, I hate part-timer season. Why are we bringing back? But there is still that fan in me that like.
I don't think Batista is one of them on my list.
I think Batista is fresh enough that he's only like a generation removed from this current crop of stars.
He was just wrestling
Batista,
2 years ago.
Batista versus Kevin Owens.
Who?
Run that shit.
Dueling power bombs.
Run that shit. I would love to watch a program with those two.
Batista hits the pop-up power bomb into a Batista bomb on Kevin Owens.
Yes.
A pop-up
Batista bomb.
I love it. I think they're
up, caught,
sit
down, and then rolled out of.
I think Batista is a unsung hero of the era that he wrestled in, because nobody. When you look back at that era, you don't think of him as that top guy.
Because Edge
he won the world title like 100 times.
Let's see here. I'm going to tell you for sure.
Edge pretty much ran ruthlessly.
I'd say 5-time.
4-time world heavyweight champion, 3-time tag team champion, 2-time WWE champion.
So 6-time heavyweight
1-time
champion.
WWE tag team champion, and a Royal Rumble winner twice. That is a pedigree, my dude.
Almost 3 times.
Yeah, almost 3 times.
He almost accidentally beat John Cena one time.
Whoops. Yeah, I think he's kind of slept on in terms of like guys from that early 2000s era, because everybody,
Hall of Famer.
John Cena's still around, Randy Orton's still around, but Batista's he's been gone long enough that I think he can come back and make it impactful this time, and he's got that star drawing power of The Rock now.
I guess so.
I'm for it, but I think that's all. Anything else you want to talk about?
Kurt Hawkins.
Yes.
Is at 0-132 losses. 0 wins, 132. He lost to Apollo Crews on main event this week. Congratulations, Kurt Hawkins.
Did he ever win any of his matches since returning, or is this flat out?
He's
since
never
returning?
won since his return.
He
hasn't won a match since he was in the tag team with the hype bro. What's his face?
Yeah.
Zack Ryder as an edgehead. Will you stop it?
I want to see Kurt Hawkins do Goldberg's entrance now. Can you make that in 2K and send it to me, please? Kurt Hawkins doing the Goldberg entrance. This is content.
Hawkins.
May I?
Oh.
Content.
We'll just release videos of wrestlers' entrance coming out to other wrestlers' entrance.
That's how we get our foothold in the wrestling community, guys. Memes. People love memes.
The Funkadelics or whatever. With the Sami Zayn. Oh my god.
Who did that?
It was on Reddit. I saw it on Reddit.
Okay.
Yeah, I posted it last night, but that was on Reddit, and holy crap.
Oh, that's weird.
Yo, that was. I cringed. I smiled. I was mildly aroused.
When they put their butts together on the ring apron and the thing where they came up, that's where I was like, you guys got to watch to the end because that scene right there.
Did you guys see the one with the Simpsons rerun of it too?
Yeah.
So it was Sam. I don't watch the Simpsons. So there's the bully kid, like that guy.
Yeah, Nelson.
And then like the kid in the white polo is very happy, go lucky.
Uh-huh.
I don't watch the Simpsons at all. I'm sorry,
What's
guys.
his name?
But he was skipping
Chief
around him.
Wiggum's son.
Yeah.
Ralph Wiggum.
Ralph Wiggum.
Yeah, Ralph. Yeah. So he was skipping around him, just how like Sami Zayn was. So there's one where they had.
Was this after Botchamania or something?
I'm not sure.
Okay, I think I've seen it.
It was just that clip, and they had the half and half. It was a split screen. They were running them simultaneously.
Yeah.
It had Sami Zayn's music on top of it.
Yeah.
And I just thought that was genius. I was like, whoever thought of that is a real Simpsons fan. It's a real fan of mine.
It's a good little crossover.
Not a fan of mine. I'm a fan of theirs.
All right, so what's going on? We are going to be back in 2 weeks.
I noticed this. So we'll be back in 2 weeks. 2 weeks after that is Christmas Eve on a Sunday.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we're going to do a show on Christmas Eve.
Maybe I'll just do one solo in my room. I'll just log onto the Facebook and just
do a little solo.
Just go
action.
live on a selfie mode.
Yeah.
Just make sure you have your phone like upright so people watch the video like this and not that. We want it upright.
Yeah. Maybe we'll see what we can do. Maybe we'll do like a Christmas special or something.
Maybe we'll pre-record a Christmas special.
A very
We'll
ASL.
drink eggnog.
We have not done a podcast yet for ASL under the influence of anything.
I have. I drank a beer before.
Have you?
Yeah, I brought us all.
Was it the WrestleMania show or?
Well, I was gonna say on our sister show, Chick-Fuck Picks, we recently had Waffle Palooza 2017.
I saw that. How was it?
Pretty good.
Are we having success?
Yeah, we actually cooked waffles in studio.
That's
What
fantastic.
can we do that's Christmas?
Well, we got to one up them because we're
Hot
a
cocoa?
vastly superior show.
Can we brew hot cocoa, like melt the chocolate and add the milk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to do
Let's
that.
get one of those. Yeah, let's get like one of those little burners.
How about a
right there.
fondue? Can we do a fondue?
Yes. Oh, of course. We can wear Christmas sweaters.
Should have ordered that Braun Strowman one.
Yeah, we got to find. I get that Balor Club shirt. He's
There you
got
go.
Yeah.
I'll just come in this.
There's one with Brock.
Very Christmassy.
Yes. If you don't think Christmas when you think of Aleister Black, then
Good job.
good job. You did it right. So, all right, guys, without any further ado, we want to thank you guys for tuning in this week. We will see you in 2 weeks with another full episode of Audio Suplex Live. God knows what the hell we're going to talk about that week, but
Monday night's Beer Stube in Toledo.
Yes.
It's on Monroe Street. Every Monday night we watch Monday Night Raw. If you want to watch it with us, please check it out.
$2 aluminum Bud Light bottles.
16-ounce
Those are 16
aluminum
ounce
bottles
cans.
Yeah.
for $2 and free bacon on all your food. But most importantly, you get to see us and watch Monday Night Raw, and there's wrestling trivia, so you can win some.
It's always a hoot.
You can win some money to pay for your drinks and or beers.
I'm so glad I don't work Tuesdays.
Your drinks and or beers.
Your drinks and or beers.
Yeah, because we do have an amazing variety of shots available as well that Corey labors over incessantly.
I think I started next week's.
You did. You already sent it to me. It was the AJ Styles one and
the phenomenal one, the Swiss Juan
Cis
9.
19, yeah, which I'm afraid of. I'm genuinely afraid of that shot.
Because there's a sweet alcohol from Sweden that makes you Swiss, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
There's tequila.
that's how that works.
That's what the Juan is, and the 9 is German. There's Goldschlager. Or wait. No,
Yeah,
Rumpelmans. Goldschlager is the
is
the Swiss one, I believe.
Phenomenal one, which is strawberry vodka, cake vodka, and whipped cream vodka.
It's like a strawberry shortcake.
I get it. It's too sweet.
And the blue blood, which is, you got it, Corey?
No.
Well, it's the blue blood.
It's the Triple H one.
Yes.
It's got blue. Hold on. Blue Sirocco. Is that how you say it? Curacao?
I'm not sure.
Curacao. Coconut rum, peach schnapps, and lemon juice.
That sounds good.
Oh, yeah, that sounds
Sweet Chin Music is I still think the clear, far and away favorite.
I think the Phenomenal one's going to be good.
The Phenomenal one is too sweet.
That's what I'm going to try.
So we're going to get out of here, though, guys. We'll let you guys enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Thank you guys for tuning in. We will hopefully see you guys tomorrow night at the Beer Stube if you guys are in the area. If not, we will see you guys in 2 weeks. For Heel Corey, for Producer Joe, for Big Tony Jackson, I'm Travis, and we will see you guys soon.
Hey, this is Joe, producer of Audio Suplex Live. We'd like to give a shout out to the band Wax for intro and outro music. Make sure you check them out at the link below.
You've been listening to the Nerd Complex Podcast Network.